You were very popular on Loveline for giving no BS, blunt relationship advice. Graham recently got married. I'm single. What's your best piece of relationship advice that you could give?
I would say understand that women are very different than you, and you may be pragmatic, but they are not. And do not try to convert them to your way of thinking, even though your thinking is correct and pragmatic. They do not feel that way. They do not think that way. And you're not going to win them over that way. Just sort of understand what it is they want and try to provide it for them, even if it doesn't make sense to you. And then generally they'll be happy and content. And if they're happy and content, then your life will be sort of happy and content. Yes.
That sounds exactly like Graham.
How do you know where to draw the line?
You know, I think there's a way to go. Look, the last 2 times we went out to dinner, we went to the place you wanted to eat. So now it's time, you know, to go to the place I want to eat. You know, there's a kind of a math to it. There's a kind of a math like, hey, man, the handbag is $5,000. Yeah. It is pragmatic, and it is logic, but it's also math. Like if you go, you just paid $5,000 for a handbag. That's a lot of money. We could have, you know, put a down payment on a something or whatever with that money. You can work a little math in every once in a while, but like in general, they're about a feeling, and you can't go at them the way you want to be gone at yourself, which is to say, a woman is a cat and a man is a dog, you know, and when I get hold of my dog, 110-pound lab, you know, I grab his head, I pull his ears, and I rub his belly, you know, like that. We do that with a cat. They just run away. Like the posture on a cat is not the posture on a dog. A cat, you just put your hand down and they'll sort of find you, you know, and they'll kind of push up against it a little bit. If you come at a cat like you'd come at a dog, the cat just get on top of the refrigerator. So even though you're a dog and you go, I'd love it if someone rubbed my belly, they're cats. So don't think they want the belly rub.
Funny you mentioned that. Sometimes I'll come to Jack with problems. And I love it when Jack just tells me, you know what, that's stupid. Doesn't matter. Just move on.
Oh, there's a lot of moving on. A lot of moving on.
Because to me, that seems like, oh, yeah, that helps put it in perspective. All right, it's not that big of a deal. I'm good. Thanks, man.
I talked to Dr. Drew about it a lot, which is essentially sort of sad, but you have to kind of treat him like a special needs child. You know, you go, I don't want to use that to him. Just
people in the comments are going to love it.
They're going to love it. Well, you know, anybody who's been in a long relationship with a woman, any man will just go, you just got to learn to just keep walking. You know what I mean? Like she's going to do something. She's going to say something insane. You can stop and turn around, or you can just keep walking. And the smart guys just keep walking.
So on Loveline, what were the most common relationship questions that you would get?
I remember a handful of calls over the years, but I never really dwelled on anything. I just would show up, talk. I would talk like no one was listening. You know, I always thought it was important to talk like no one was listening, because then you would be freed up. And then I would just go home, and I never really wrote anything down or thought about it or had any thoughts about like what role I played or who may have been affected or any of that. Just showed up, did it, turned around and left. Drew was that way. You know, sometimes people come up, they go, oh, you're a big part of my childhood, or you helped me or whatever. And I'm always like, thanks. But I never gave it a second thought.
Yeah. Now you have quite an impressive career, really starting out, not growing up with a wealthy family or anything. Do you think that young people today have any excuse for not making it?
No, they don't. But I don't know that they want to provide an excuse for not making it. I don't know that their version of making it is your version of making it. Like their version of making it is, you know, a big TV and lots of pot and not having to own a car or pay a mortgage or doing what they want, traveling. So, your version or a traditional version of making it is a big home and an adoring family and a Ford GT40 or just a Ford GT because we couldn't clear 40. Mm-hmm. But that's your version. Your version is owning a beautiful and exotic sports car. Their version is owning no car and just Ubering and eating out and getting high and watching Netflix. That's their version of making it. Sadly, I mean, it sounds counterintuitive to us. On the other hand, I don't know. Maybe the joke's on us. You pay insurance, you have to deal with the maintenance and whatever. That's not who they are. Younger people. So there is no excuse for not making it. If you want to work hard or you're halfway good at your job, like you'll excel. But I've noticed a lot of young men share no interest in making it. I've never had one of them pull me aside and go like, "Hey man, tell me what you know." I mean, unlike the city council or like the city council, no one's ever asked me that.
What do you know? Let's assume that, I'm 25 and I'm coming to you asking for advice as someone who looks up to you. What would you tell that person?
Well, I would say, let's be realistic about what you're good at and let's be realistic about what you're bad at. And then we'll have a third category, which is what you would like to do. Because if what you would like to do is sing, but you have no ability to sing, then I'm going to try to talk you out of that. I'd love to be in a rock band too, but I don't have that ability to be in a rock band. So I would have loved to play for the Rams. Not good enough to play for the Rams. So let's figure out what you can do versus what you want to do versus what you would do. And I would probably say, what do you do naturally? Like when you're just left alone, what do you like to do? And you go, well, I like to go to the garage and tinker with things. I'd go, okay, well, maybe you'd be best suited to a job where you were building things or on your feet, using your hands or something. Or if you tell me, I like the human condition. I mean, I read books. I like to know what, I read Plato and Aristotle. And I like to know how people work. I'd say, well, maybe we should start thinking about, psychology or counseling. I just want to know what you do first, or what you do naturally, what you do for free. Mm-hmm. What you do for free. Well, ultimately, it'd be great if you could get paid to do what you would naturally do for free. So hopefully there's something there. Hopefully we can take this thing you normally do and you naturally do and you do it. And, nowadays the world's your oyster because you could go, I love sports. I love talking about sports. I'm in roto leagues and blah, blah, blah. I'd go, well, maybe we should start thinking about starting a blog or something, or doing an internet show, or maybe you could get a job interning for Dan Lebitard or something. Like, tell me what you do. And then I would tell you, look, you can do it or you don't have to do it. There's not going to be any luck involved. All the who you know, or he was born on third base and thought he had a triple. It's all bullshit. If you want to work hard at it, you'll succeed. If you don't, that'll be on you. I've seen 1 million people start from nothing, go to somewhere that's out of this world, and it's all effort. It's all they did. But be prepared to work on some weekends. Be prepared to put in some long days. Don't have a bunch of rules. Don't show up to work and have the boss go, hey, could you empty that trash can? You go, that's not my job. Don't say that's not your job. Don't have any rules. You're young. Sacrifice. Do everything so that you're 25. By the time you're 35, you're set up. But eat shit for the next 10 years. No pride, no rules, just work. You're 35, you'll be in a good position.